Hey, 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 back again for game 2 of the series between Sweet Like Ice and CiC Esports. Obviously, CiC taking game 1 in a pretty substantial, impressive victory. It took them a while, 47 minutes or so to do it, but they came out with a pretty nice win, as Sweet Like Ice, I think, made some pretty critical errors in their decisions, and as a result, ended up losing the game. To be honest, they had a decent enough draft, and they had a good enough laning phase to be able to take the game, but they just, it felt like they didn't execute, they weren't communicating well, or whatever it was, just the decision-making wasn't there. But a new game, a new chance, and the bans are out. I'm already pretty far behind, so Ophelia and Rhapsody will be taken out by Archie Tiger. No huge surprises there, as the strongest support in the game, in my opinion, as well as one of the perpetually strong junglers are eliminated. Kronos and Puppet Master gets taken out by the Hellborn side and Flensmeister, and as he removes the hard carry and excellent laner in Puppet and the strong and often picked, or it would be often picked, Suicide and Kronos. The only reason that he's never picked is because he's always banned. But obviously a sensible use of a ban here, as he makes plenty of sense in pretty much any lineup. And the Legion side, after doing that, will be starting out with Drunken Master, Engineer, and Bubbles. So picking up some more AoE-centric heroes, as they've got Engie and Bubbles with the Kelp Field and the Energy Field once again. I believe they played both of those heroes in the last game. I completely forgot which ones they actually played. They definitely played Bubbles. And they played Engineer as well, but the Drunken Master was on Keizu last game, so not going to be in CiC's hands once again. This time Archie Tiger and the boys will try to make it work for them, and we'll see how that goes down. It's a decent lineup, I think, so far. Last game they had some pretty serious issues with pushing, and I think that's going to repeat itself. There's no reason to think this lineup is going to push particularly well, as 3 heroes in, we really don't have any strong pushers. Hellborn, on the other hand, pick up the Torturer with their first pick, and obviously that's a very strong tower killer with the Impalement. Add that to Devourer, which will almost certainly be in Mickey's hands, and he's perhaps the best Devourer player out there right now. That might sound like blasphemy to a lot of people who go Super KGE, Super KGE, but KG hasn't been playing that much, that many hookers, and I've seen some pretty impressive stuff from Mickey. So honestly, in a 1v1, my money might be on Mickey. Might sound a little odd there, but he's been really, really impressive. Regardless, Madman will be their last pickup. Almost certainly will be a Suicide option in Keizu's hands. So pretty well set so far in terms of a couple of their lanes. Almost certainly see Devourer and very possibly Torturer in middle. Could also see Torturer in that short lane. Probably not going to see a tri-lane at this point, because Madman is really a solo hero and Devourer is rarely tri-laned. Although I guess he could be soloed as well. So if we see 2 more carry and other support, that's an option. Obviously, junglers remain a possibility for both sides, as last game both teams ran junglers, and this game Parasite will be banned out by Archie Tiger right off the bat, as he did not have a good time on Parasite last game, so not letting Flensmeister and potentially Zlapt pick up that hero. So we'll see what they choose to do here, but I think the Legion side, perhaps looking for some push, and perhaps looking for some gank potential, maybe even some late game. And we'll see how they choose to run that. I think at this point, I wouldn't mind seeing, say, a Magmus and a Tempest. I think I'd greatly enjoy that. That would give them some pretty serious late game ability if they put Drunken Master in the solo short lane. Tempest in the Woods obviously massively enhance their team fight, which is already pretty strong, and allow them to push a little bit stronger. Could also go with that Tempest, and then a harder late game carry, Soul Stealer, Moon Queen, Dark Lady, all on the board, and all possibilities to give you some not only late game potential, but a fair bit of team fight as well, as all of those heroes have strong team fight ultimates. Keeper of the Forest is banned out by Archie Tiger. That's actually a hero that would fit them extremely well. So I'm not a huge fan of that ban. Wretched Hag, probably alright to ban out there, as it would basically be redundant, I think, with Bubbles both being high magic damage, gank-oriented heroes. Obviously, you could run Wretched Hag as more of a farmer, but perhaps not as necessary and wouldn't fit them quite as well. So I don't mind the Hag ban as much. I don't mind the Parasite ban either, but I think the Keeper of the Forest probably could have helped them more than it would have hurt them. Hellborn side, meanwhile, going to ban out Ravener and the Magmus. so no longer an option there, as well as Gauntlet. So Flensmeister figuring that they're looking for a mid hero, despite the fact that they do have Drunken Master, and they could certainly go for a short laner over a mid, but trying to remove a lot of the strength initiators, and figuring that they might be looking to run the Drunken Master as a carry, and they're not going to do so, as Corrupted Disciple is the 4th pick, so I'm most certainly going to see him in the bottom lane. Bubbles is a Suicide, and DM in mid, probably paired with Engineer, so I kind of hope, I really hope they get that Tempest, man. They really need some push. I mean, they've got plenty of gank with Bubbles and Drunken. They can definitely, those are 2 heroes that can definitely roam very effectively and pick up kills along the map. Can get you some map control. And they've got plenty of team fight, especially with Bubbles and Engineer, that Tempest would complement very well. And you would finally add some pushing potential to this team, which is something that really, really, really hurt them, I think, last game. So they need to address that at this point, and the fact that they continue not to do so makes me a little concerned, but instead of talking about the Legion side, let's talk about Hellborn. They actually picked up Nymphora, which is a bit interesting, and said we'll be empaths. They know for the dual support here on the Legion, and that will round out their lineup. Almost certainly going to see CD empath bottom, Drunken Master Engineer middle, and Bubbles in the Suicide lane. Could definitely see a tri lane as well, but I'm not a huge fan of that, I think, at this point. If they want to run the aggro tri, they do have a pretty strong combination with Drunken Engineer and empath. Potentially, you could also run Corrupted Disciple in that role, but I think I'd prefer the DM. But I think we're going to see defensive dual lanes coming out here from the Legion side, and that would be my preferred setup. Hellborn, meanwhile, did pick up the Nymphora, as that adds their second support. Obviously, a relatively strong support here, and I think that one that doesn't get enough attention, as we focus mostly on Rhapsody, Empath, and Torture. Dr. Repulsor will be their last pickup, going to be in Flensmeister's hands here, no doubt, in that short lane, probably paired with Nymph, as we see Torture and Devourer likely going to head middle, and Madman going to be in that Suicide lane. So strong lanes coming out here from the Hellborn side as well. Should do just fine, and they're looking to go a little defensive here. It'd be nice, obviously get some aggression with Devourer and get a few kills, but they're mostly going to be focused on staying alive in that top lane with Dr. Repulsor, which shouldn't be a problem at all, considering it should be a Suicide Bubbles up there. But if they run the tri-lane, they could be in some trouble. So actually I'd like to see Legion, now that they pick the Dr. Repulsor, switch it up, run the aggressive tri-lane, and try to shut down Doctor as much as possible. So we'll see if they choose to do that. Looks like NG's already heading top, although that could just be for some wards. And so we'll see. But Devour obviously heading middle. Hellborn, meanwhile, have a fairly strong tri-lane of their own. If they decide to run Torture, Doctor, and Nymphora, I still think I'd favor the Legion's tri-lane just because their stuns are a little bit better. Wall's extremely disruptive in a tri-lane and could be extremely, really powerful if run up against that Dr. Repulsor and being able to separate one hero from his allies. Pause going out. I didn't turn on a skip pause again on, did I? So sorry about that, but obviously better than waiting through the pause. So we'll see what happens with Bubbles is roaming up here, and this is looking like a tri-lane. Yep, so they're definitely going to run the aggressive tri-lane, and I like that decision. As a response to the Dr. Repulsor pickup, it makes a lot of sense. The Hellborn, meanwhile, do in fact go with defensive dual lanes that I originally predicted, and I think once they see the Legion's tri-lane, they're going to adjust to this. As we're almost certainly going to see Bubbles head back middle, and Drunken get paired with both Engineer and Empath up top here to try to shut down this Dr. Repulsor as much as possible, which is absolutely 100% the right decision. And I know Torture is rotating top, no surprise there, in order to combat the Legion's tri-lane with one of their own. So in the end, I think this works out for Legion, and fairly heavily. Kay's actually going to pull the wave back here, which is a tactic we don't see too often anymore. Top actually, Empath wall goes down, but Zeal Stun hits 2. And they're going to do a fair bit of damage to Empath here. They do manage to counter the ward from the pull, so that's going to be great. And just in time, too, to allow the 30-second spawn. But obviously, aggressive tri-lane here means they don't have a true Suicide, and Drunken Master should have strong farm here. I don't think they're going to win the tri-lane here, but I don't think they're going to lose it substantially. It could end up in the middle. It's pretty hard to call who's going to get the victory here. It's going to depend a lot on who can land their skill shots, considering again the NG Keg, the Torture chain reactions, the Nymphora Zeal, all are non-targeted abilities, and whoever gets the most use out of those, I think, is going to be able to win this tri-lane. Obviously, Empath, while similar in that regard, as you have to find the right opportunity and the right opening to be able to use that ability, otherwise it does nothing. Now, obviously, if you hit it, it's amazing, but if you don't, then it's pretty useless. Legion also have the disadvantage of running a melee farmer as opposed to a the Hellborn's ranged farmer. Now, obviously, that makes CSing a little bit easier, but he should be getting harassed out pretty consistently. Has just 3 tangos, although obviously his support has brought plenty more regen, all sorts of it on Engineer and Empath. So Flintmice are likely going to have a slightly easier time taking CS here than Way Too Easy, but both lanes have a fair bit of kill potential and should have a decent enough time. The reason I think this benefits the Legion side is because Devourer Bubbles matchup should absolutely 100% go in favor of Bubbles. There's pretty much no way that Devourer should be able to kill the Bubbles unless Bubbles misplays, either wastes his Shell Surf or misses a take cover or something like that. The hook should never land, and obviously the rot damage is not as effective when you have the Shell Surf get away. So we'll see what happens, but I fully expect Bubbles to win this lane. Should be able to harass Devourer out, already doing quite a lot of that Devourer with a pooled health pot. Gonna have to pop that relatively soon. And Bubbles still sitting on plenty of regen with a health pot and 3 tangos. Bottom lane, of course, should go in favor of CD, as Madman will be rather annoying here, but CD having the short lane advantage should more or less be able to beat this Madman. Stock coming out there is going to stop the health pot, but CD going to return with some auto attacks. Obviously, Keizu here being a relatively powerful player, relatively good, excellent player, could absolutely win this matchup. So I'm not saying it's 100% going to go in CD's favor, and Madman is absolutely capable of winning this. It's just this is a situation that CD should win. And we'll see if he can actually execute, but I believe he does have the advantage. So that's why even if the Legion lose this tri-lane up here, they really shouldn't lose it too badly, and they should win at least mid and very likely bottom as well. Now that we're getting some lane control up top here, that'll help out in terms of Drunken Master's farm. Blend's already at 250 GPM compared to 160 for Drunken, and that right there is exactly what I was talking about. So I guess Bubbles got hooked in, but then Shell Surf away, and all of a sudden Devourer can't really do too much to him. Both sides picking up a bottle here, as Bubbles has a Haste Rune bottle. Actually, Shell Surfs away though and is fine once again. So Mickey landing plenty of hooks, but not really turning it into anything substantial. And Bubbles' Haste Rune actually, stop it, never mind. As Drunken Master going to push Nymphora back in, and a couple auto attacks, that does land the kill. So off to the side here, Torture stacking the pull and pulling, and all of a sudden that's very bad. Haste Rune picked up by Bubbles, and we'll actually try to turn this into Devourer. Should be a pretty easy kill. Tongue of the Sea goes out, a couple more auto attacks. We'll do it. Tries to deny himself, not successful. So, not a huge surprise there that Mickey falls to Bubbles here, as if anybody's going to die, that should be what happens. And up top, also getting the Bloodlust in favor of Ice, so looking good so far early on. Making some good lane decisions, definitely, in response to their opponent's selections, and playing well, for that matter, as they're pretty much winning all 3 lanes. Up top here, we're looking for the initiation once again. Dr. Repulsor getting walled off. Will take a stagger, takes the Essence Link stun. Zeal actually hits. They're going to turn this on Engineer. He will die first, but doesn't get the take stun and counters onto Dr. Repulsor. Now we're going to see if Drunken Master can live. No, he can't. So that ends up being a trade in favor of the Hellborn, as they pick off both the opposing team's farmer and a support in exchange for their own farmer. And overall, resources slightly in favor of the Legion side, but nothing substantial. Bottom lane, obviously, Corrupted Disciple is the highest farmer in the game, so no huge surprise here that he's winning this lane. Actually, Keizu is the highest farmer on his own team, so that's pretty nice for him off to the side here. Empath and Nymphora going at it. Nice wall there, will block out Nymph, and we'll see if they can turn this anything. Bubbles coming in from the side, gonna drop a Shell Surf there, does actually hit, and you're in some trouble here, Nymph. As Panny falls to Biver. I assume that's how you pronounce his name up here. Looking like they're trying to jump on Doctor. Not going to get him, though. So CD remaining the top farm in the game, and like I said before, not a huge surprise that he wins this lane. very likely expected. And KZ not farming too badly as well, because, well, CD is not the greatest hero at zoning out opposing suicides. Middle lane, meanwhile, we're going to see some rotation here, but a Word of Sight catches out the support moving. And CD going to be over here as well. Madman has a haste rune active, though, and he could be in some trouble. Puts the conduit down. Hook there is going to land, and Corrupted will fall here. So, nice rotation there. And up here, actually, we're going to see an Essence Link go down on top of Torture. Keg Stun's not going to hit, but the Essence Link stun does. Nice wall off, and that's what I'm talking about. Separate one from the others. And Torture definitely going to fall here, but trades his life for Empath, actually. Now, Engineer in a fair bit of trouble. Pops a Mana Battery and a Health Potion. Will be cancelled there by the Nymphoria Zeal, and they're going to turn their attention on the Drunken Master. Probably won't be able to get the kill. Meanwhile, Biber over here actually falls, so let's look at that first. As Madman coming in from the side. Excellent hook, man. Mickey. Pretty amazing. So they do manage to get the kill on Bubbles. Kicks in there, does hit Nymphoria, but I'm going to try to turn this once again onto Drunken Master. Staggers away. He's trying to live here. Getting boxed out a bit by Engineer. Drops a turret. And he sort of blocked himself there. One more auto attack. Nice hook, but not quite enough. Drops the Mana Battery once again. Barrel roll, finish him off. Last auto attack is going to kill way too easy as well. Kelfield goes on to 2. Doctor going to pay for this, I think. Couple more auto attacks. No, actually. Opposite charges turned down, and Biber's going to fall yet again. So, oof. That was a really ugly engagement for Sweet Like Ice, to say the least. Chain reactions are there, and the hook. Goodbye.
Fabulous.
Massacre.
Yep, and that's pretty much Massacre. So they basically got like a genocide. As they kill pretty much everybody. Yeah. So, all of a sudden, Sweet Like Ice went from a really strong laning phase. They were looking pretty good, and they were winning really all 3 of their lanes, and in the course of a couple of minutes, all of a sudden, we've got Mickey here at 340 gold per minute compared to Biber at 240. Bottom lane, KZu's at 323 compared to 310 for Corrupted Disciple, and in the top lane, Flensmeister at 292 compared to 204 for Drunken Master. The supports in general also out-farming their opponents at Tortures at 175, although Nymph's at 111 compared to 125. Meanwhile, you're off to the side. Devour getting jumped on by 4 heroes, and he's in a lot of trouble. Auto-attack damage way too much, and the wall will prevent him from trying to get back to his base. So, ends up being a nice kill there on Mickey as they stem the tide a little bit, turn on the owning streak, and manage to pick off Devour. Obviously very important if they want to prevent him from snowballing, because if Devour gets off to a roll, he can be difficult to stop sometimes. And Mickey in particular, not a guy that you want to give a lot of early game farm to, because he will wreck you. Mid lane Engineer looking to bait out this Bubbles, and we'll see if they can actually turn that into anything. Port is coming in. Empath also is here. Obviously, the Word of Sight, though, is spotting things. And, oh, that's pretty funny. Let's see if Engineer can actually survive this. Oh, God, no, he can't. And Essence Link is down as well. That's the real one, but he takes the stun. And that's going to be it. No, maybe not. And Mickey won't be able to do this, so... Ah, well. Nice hook there, obviously, as actually top way too easy dies as well. Getting caught by 3 here. Over here, Mickey's illusions are chasing down Empath, and Empath should be fine, but that's odd. Oh, because he wants to stop him from coming in. That was a nice play, actually. And I'm just missing shit all over the board, aren't I? As KZ actually picks off Balthazar somehow. Stock goes down, and the barrel roll is there, plus the auto attack. That was interesting. Electric Tide might have actually killed KZ there, so it's pretty well played from him. Hook there, take covered, so Biber will be just fine. Mickey looking to control the 10-minute rune, goes up top. And Bubbles will take the bottom. It is a refreshment. Up top, Devour picks up a haste, so that's going to be potentially trouble for at least a support and very possibly a farmer here on the Legion side, as Devour with haste is, if for some reason you don't know, very, very dangerous. Up top here, Nymphoria going to go on to Drunken Master, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Stuns down Flensmeister, and the wall also facilitates his escape. TP is cancelled, so They do manage to bail the TP and a health pot, and they don't get the kill, but obviously forcing the opposing team to use up some resources that don't actually get them anything. Always nice to do. Top lane looks like Bubble's going to try to gank here. We'll see if they can do anything. No. Way too easy. A little too overeager there with the attempt to jump on top of Flens. Off to the side, Mickey is hasted, looking for some sort of hook chance. Obviously, Ward here spots out Bubbles. And, oh, beautiful hook once again. Saga the Sea, though. And excellent timing. And he's just going to turn his attention on Drunken Master. Kelfield stops the ultimate, though. Chain Reactions is looking for the opening. And actually, Mickey will die thanks to the keg stun, so well played. Even the Hasted Devour unable to do anything. Zeal Stun will actually just barely connect on Drunken, but won't be able to follow that up with anything. Shell Surf snipes a couple of them out. Obviously, Word of Revelation will find this Word of Sight here, but they can't counter it right now thanks to the presence of the Hellborn heroes. Bottom lane, KZ continuing to sit down here. And he's at 330 gold per minute compared to Balthazar at 270. But he's going to get jumped as the Nymphora comes in with Dr. Repulsor, and you're in trouble there, buddy. So they're doing a really, really good job here of shutting Balthazar down once again. Obviously, last game it was just hell for him on that slither, trying to get any sort of farm. As he was continually being dove and just murdered the entire game. And in this game, it's pretty much more of the same. 0-3-0. Word of Rev drop there. Will spot out KZ, but has a stock away, and he will be just fine. 12-minute rune is top, as an Invis is picked up here by Bubbles. Refreshment will be grabbed by KZ. That'll help him stay in lane, very possibly. And if he runs into Empath, gonna be in trouble. Dust of Revelation goes out, though, and they knew that he was coming. And KZ gonna be in some trouble. Also, Balthazar here, and he will pick up the kill. So nice to get him back on track a little bit, get a bit of revenge for the relentless attacks that have been thrown his way. Middle lane counter finally goes down to this Word of Sight. It's been sitting there for a while. Invis Bubbles with Empath inside, looking to jump on this Devourer, and Engineer and Drunken are here as well. This is going to be a lot of trouble. Song of the Sea goes down. Wall actually doesn't do too much here. Essence Link is there as well. Kelfield stops. Doesn't actually stop the ultimate, but they do pick off 2 so far. And it looks like Torture will be the last to follow. This Dust of Relation catches him out. So 3 for nothing there, as Sweet Like Ice evens the game up. 11 to 13 hero kills. No substantial resource advantage. Actually, the Legion are going to take gold advantage as they finish off the bottom tower. And it looks like the pretty even farm here on the Legion side is doing some pretty good work. Corrupted Disciple all of a sudden up to 320 GPM, just barely behind that Dr. Repulsor and ahead of everybody else in the game. Meanwhile, Bubbles is having some strong farm of his own, and Drunken Master not looking great, but is passable. More importantly, though, the supports on the Legion side are looking actually pretty good here. 178 gold per minute and 200 GPM on Engineer. That's a lot for a support. And that's going to be pretty substantial. That's going to allow them to get stuff like Push Books and Storm Spirits relatively early. It's going to make sure that they can keep vision up, and they can keep the Hellborn's vision down with counter wards. So, you know, early GPM on supports, some people might think it's wasted. It absolutely is not. Because the kind of map control you can get with outwarding your opponents can often turn into much, much better farm for your carries, and in the end, actually more overall gold for your team. Especially when you have carries that really aren't interested in ganking too much, and Corrupted Disciple is in some ways that sort of hero. Doesn't farm very well. A little bit better at getting hero kills, but you'll often see a CD just sit back and farm, especially if he has a poor start, because as ganks go, he's not the greatest. He really excels in team fights. And in the mid game, Hook there does not connect on Empath, just barely missing. So Mickey going forward once again, but does not quite land. That's the thing, though. Even when Mickey misses hooks, he doesn't miss them by that much, and he hits them a lot. So gotta be on the lookout for that Devourer play, man, because it's impressive. Nice counter ward there, and we'll kill this Word of Sight pretty easily. Zeal Stun going down, no hook follow up though. As Bubbles really, they had a Kelp Field, Shell Surf, Song of the Sea, so it's unlikely that. Well, maybe he could have, even with just the raw damage. Who knows? Zeal Stun will actually connect there, despite the take cover, but no follow-up. Top lane, Flensmeister continuing to farm here, 340 gold per minute, maintains his position atop the GPM charts, as he absolutely needs to. Dr. Bolster, of course, a hero that really requires a strong start. And very effective counter warding from the Legion side. They've destroyed multiple wards. So Hellborn might need to get a little more creative in their warding decisions. Hook there is dodged. And the tri-lane has reformed up top, at least on the Legion's side. Over here, Doctor will start farming the neutrals, as the pole camp's the first to go. Camp is stacked over here, and that's it. No other stacks in the woods. Off to the side, meanwhile, actually, Panny gets picked off. Let's watch that from the beginning. As the regen rune is there, and drops the Kelfield, actually. KZU picks up the regen, and that ends up being a counter kill on top of Viber, so we'll see what happens here. Dust Revelation goes off, catches out KZU. Drunken Master's sort of looking to drop this. Essence Link goes down, Hook does not connect, and the Keg Stun doesn't hit either. KZU will be able to try to run away. Nope. And Lost Auto Attack will finish him off, so nice energy field there. As the entire Legion side collapses on top of KZU, picks up the kill. Top lane, meanwhile, is being pretty heavily pressured by Flens, as he's looking to try to get a tower kill here.
The Hellborn had destroyed a Legion tower.
Good stuff for him there. Oh my god, that hook! Actually anticipated the stagger and just did it right perfectly. Drunken Master going to be in a lot of trouble here. He will fall. Bubbles perhaps trying to get a counter kill into somebody that's not going to be able to further that aggression, and he will back off. So excellent hook there on Drunken, and ends up being a pretty perfect kill. Chain reaction stun goes down there onto Bubbles, but no real follow-up. 15 to 13 hero kill advantage here for the Hellborn side, and they're sitting a little bit ahead in terms of both gold and experience. Meanwhile, over here, NM4 getting caught out a little bit. Shellsurf Song at the Sea, easy snipe. So squishy. 663 health, and just plain boots. So Panny suffering a fair bit this game at 92 GPM. And obviously still buying a lot of rewards. It might behoove them to give some more primary ward duty to Torture here, who has a decent amount of farm at 230 GPM, and let Panny get something. Actually, Torture's fairly farmed, really. Better farm than Drunken. Sitting on a Storm Spirit here, or Neophyte's Book, almost certainly going to turn that into a Storm Spirit. Conduit down on top of KZU, as he's going to run away with the Energizer, so he should be just fine. But getting aggression once again from Balthazar on that Corrupted Disciple. His farm continues to stay static around 320 GPM. This is a couple of CS here. Gets the last one. Once again, Word of Rev countering a recently placed Word of Sight. They can't quite see it, but they might be able to if they walk near that cliff. Did you spot it? Nope. Mickey has a new portal key. Simon the Sea goes off, and nice Kelpfield. They're going to try to turn this around here. As Empath, Drunken Master, and Engineer are all here. Kelpfield stun does not get taken there. And 4-port coming in here with Flensmeister, I assume. Yep. They're going to try to turn this. No, is it going to happen? Devour will also fall, so that's 2 out in favor. But Flensmeister's here now. Adro will get picked off, but so does Panny. And Doctor now has to get out of there. He has no mana, though, so one more stun available from Drunken. Has it. Trying to play Ring Around the Rosie. KZU's here, but so is Corrupted Disciple. And they drop the Corrupted Conduit here onto KZU. Takes the full Electric Tide damage. So Wall goes down, not doing too much here. Stalk away once again, and KZU should be alright. As that looks like it's going to be it. Let's see if they spot the ward. Nope, I don't think they have. Nice stack there in the Ancients. So this is a good ward spot here, because it still hasn't been spotted. Top lane, meanwhile, we got Flensmeister going at it once again with Drunken Master, and that's going to be an easy kill. Over here, we're going to see finally the Hellborn get some revenge. Actually, I think that was in tower range. So, revenge, but not really well-deserved revenge, more. You fucked up revenge. Portal Key and Bubbles there to complement the one picked up by Mickey. So let's take a quick look at the items here. Keizu has, after Mickey already had the Portal Key and investments and the Steam Boots, Keizu picking up a Energizer to go along with his bottle. Engineer has a PK, 200 GPM, so he's doing really well. Nymphora obviously almost totally naked, which under normal circumstances would be fine, but the fat Nymphora less so. Yay for sexism. Corrupted Disciple, sorry. Torture, I was going down the Hellborn list here. Torture is currently sitting on Phase Boost in a Neophyte's book, so almost certainly going to be turning that into Storm Spirit, I believe. Is Push Book also? I don't think so. I don't think Push Book has Neophytes in it. But I don't remember. It does, look at that. Man, Neophyte's book, so good. What is it not in? Just everything. Neophyte's book is in 7 different items. That's ridiculous. Stock here, on to Empath, but she drops the Dust Revelation and the Essence Link. They're trying to turn this around here as the Kelp Field goes on to Keizu. We'll see if they can do anything. Hook back onto Engineer despite the energy field, so that's going to be a pretty easy kill. Onto Adro. First one to fall. Penny drops as well, and Keizu will dry. So, nice coming in there from Corrupted Disciple. Jump back in as Bubbles has the Portal Key, but that's going to be it. They're drawing a TP here as they're looking for the initiation. Mickey has to land the hook here. Nice hook! That's just so beautiful. And Empath's gonna die as well because of this. Chain reactions goes down, and that's a kill. So, oh, so fucking pretty. Look, they're not gonna hit. Fiber actually using the Shell Surf too, so had no way to get out of that. That's pretty painful. Mid tower going to be pretty heavily pressured now as Torture drops the Impalement. Should be a tower kill here relatively easily. And that will be the second tower kill of the game for the Legion side, or the Hellborn side. Regen Rune on Flensmeister, and he's having some fun. Nymphora Port coming in here as well as Madman is brought in. Notable, of course, that Balthazar did take that bottom tower down early, so we're not going to have 45 minutes of uncontested towers. Keizu here cuts again. And the take cover goes down, but there's the ult. And the Kegstun won't be enough to save him. So, Fiverr is now just absolutely furious with Mickey and his ridiculous hooks, I'm sure. Just, that's again the beautiful counter warding. So, a shout out to the sports here on the Legion side, because damn are they doing a fine job. They're both farming fairly well, but not doing a really horrible job of taking farm away from their farmers. They're just dying a ton. I mean, Byver's got 5 deaths, and Drunken has 6, so 2, 3, and 14 on Empath, having a great game. 5, 5, and 8 on Engineer, also having a very solid performance. Bottom lane gonna get pushed in a little bit. Flensmeister is here, but mostly out of mana. Gonna hide off the side, and we'll see if he can get enough support. It's gonna happen. Drunken gonna go back into the woods, and he'll be just fine. Anyway, Pushbook is the choice on Torture. Also goes for a Mana Tube here, so that's probably going to be a Storm Spirit. As off to the side here, Mickey hooking in once again, this time on Drunken Master, but he's got a lot of backup. Luckily, Mickey does have a Haste Rune, so he will just run away and be fine. All 5 heroes are middle, and they're going to take down this mid tower. Glyph goes down, but that's probably not going to be able to stop the ultimate push. Another
The
creep wave
Hellborn
comes in.
destroyed
Meanwhile,
a
bottom
Legion
tower
tower.
falls to Flensmeister.
The
Deny,
Legion had
not
destroyed
successful.
a Hellborn tower.
And it looks like they're going to try to reinitiate here. Mick gets pushed back forward, has a portal key obviously. Tries to PK hook back over to the ledge. Not enough range though. And the Legion side will be fine. Get out of there unscathed. All sorts of items getting dropped down. Anyway, we were talking about items for a bit. Flensmeister did go for the Grimoire of Power, and looks like he's going to pick up a Hellflower on top of that. Obviously strong for locking down Bubbles, CD, and Drunken Master, especially if you can get Drunken Master before his Untouchable goes off. Much easier to kill with all that without the massive damage reduction and the inability to be targeted. Legion side, Bubbles has pretty much picked up nothing since that portal key, just dying a hold on. 950 gold, and he's not super close to his second item, which I'm going to assume is going to be something similar to the Hellflower. Nicely done there by Bubbles, making strong use of the portal key to steal a double damage rune from right in front of Devourer. But I'd expect to see a CC tool on Bubbles just to try to prevent Doctor from being able to zip around everywhere, and I think Hellflower is almost certainly going to be that choice. Jump there by Bubbles. Kelfield's Sun will be taken by Mickey though as he push books himself forward, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Essence Link goes down, that's going to be the last hit. Portal Key actually gets dropped there as he was trying to drop it, pick it up so that he could use it before the 3-second cooldown went down. Nice attempt at a play there, but obviously a little bit too much support there from the Hellborn's Legion side. And Flensmeister's in the Legion base. So they're apparently more interested in taking the middle tower than dealing with the fact that Flensmeister's going to get a base tower here. Glyph goes down, so they are aware of this.
The Legion had destroyed
And that's going to draw at least one fort. Now there's two. Empath not going to be able to do too much, but that's that was a good play from Flens. It's like, alright, you killed Dev, we can't fight you, and you're going to take our mid tower, so I'll split push and take your top tower, almost. So, well played there. But anyway, let's finish off the items here. Drunken Master with the first time Shrunken Head. And yeah, I can see that. I think that does not stop Devourer's ultimate, but a lot of the stuff from Dr. Repulsor is going to be mitigated. All sorts of stuns will be rendered irrelevant, and that's a nice pickup for him. Obviously, I'm sure with the Portal Key, going to be able to set up some really nice energy fields. Corrupted Disciple going for a second item Shrunken Head after the Dawnbringer, and I like both of those decisions. Empath here, Plated Greaves, and Lex Talionis, so trying to help burst the opponents down as quickly as possible, and with a Devourer and a Dr. Repulsor on the opposing team, speed and reduced armor is of high priority.
The Legion had destroyed a Hellborn
Top tower will fall here as the Legion side pick off the last outer tier tower and their 4th tower overall. Actually putting them ahead of the Hellborn side. No, sorry, even. This top tower is dead. Lots of ports coming in here. Kelfield goes down into 3. Actually, all of them take the stun. We'll see who dies first. Kazier's going to be the focus of choices. He gets dusted out, and he will fall. Flensmeister off to the side here. Going to be able to get away with his ultimate. And Nymphora not going to be so lucky. Throws the Zeal Stun in a really random direction. That does nothing over here. Flens continuing to get caught. Jumps himself away, and man, this Corrupted Disciple is fast, especially with Empath jumping him, or speeding him up. And they could have kept chasing. They would have caught Flens and killed him. But maybe they saw the buyback on... Or no, sorry, Mickey didn't buy back, he just left. I thought he bought back. But anyway, 2 pickoffs there as they defend the middle tower successfully. And Sweet Like Ice looking much better in terms of their decision making than they did last game. And they're responding to aggression, they're doing a much better job of pushing down towers, and they're doing a better job of grouping up and focusing people down. So all of the problems I had with them in the last game are seeming to be fixed here in this match. Balthazar managing much better farm. It's amazing how an extra 200 GPM will increase your effectiveness here at 440 gold per minute. Still below Flensmeister, but not substantially so. As the overall golden experience lead is in favor of the Hellborn, but not by too much. Speaking of Flens, he is down here, and in fact going to leave. Mickey did come back to the middle lane and pick up his portal key once again. Be funny if he was just running around without it. Convoy looks like it's going to be the next focus here. And some grace given to Dr. Repulsor. And Keizu is going to be the one to start to focus down this this Convoy. Obviously having the Abyssal Skull makes it a lot easier for him to tank the damage and stay alive. Gash is going crazy. But the jump there from Engineer, and that's going to be onto 2. Desperate Relation goes off. 2 get caught from the kill field, and both Painting and Keizu are down right off the bat. Flensmeister jumps in on the side, but he's going to have to jump right back out as Shrunken Heads are up all over the place. Actually, Mickey will port Tablet up to the ledge and Portal Key aware, TP away just fine. Flensmeister's going to be able to TP out as well, so excellent jump there from the Legion side as they pick off a couple of strong hero kills, and they're going to steal Conquer. Maybe not. And his buyback on Keizu. And that's going to push them off here. Storm Spirit goes down onto Drunken Master, but a nice wall there will try and help stop some stuff. Untouchable goes down. Hook back, but does not work because the Untouchable ultimate going down onto Corrupted Disciple, and they're going to try to lock him. He is taking a ton of damage thanks to not having access to that Shrunken Head. And that's a nice pick up on the Legion side's carry. Thanks to the buyback. Obviously, Mickey Hook hitting the creep right there, and now they're going to turn back their Kongor, so there should be a token for Flensmeister really easily. Excellent buyback from Keizu there, obviously forcing the Legion side away from the pit, and ultimately getting a kill, helping get a kill on Balthazar as well as the Kongor. Token for Flensmeister. Strong push up top, going to have to be addressed, obviously, because that top tower is pretty low already, and Drunken will be the one to take care of that. So 32 minutes into this game, we're relatively even. 3k gold and 4.5k experience, and they're Sweet Like Ice, like I said before, is looking much more like the team that I thought that they were going to be. I thought that they should be in Game 2, as the mechanical ability is absolutely there. The technical skill is there to compete with SynC. And last game, it seemed like it was just a matter of some poor planning and poor decision making, and that has gone away. And once it has, it's impressive how much more even these teams are. 24 to 23 hero kill advantage actually for the Legion side. And as the game goes later, I think we are going to swing slightly. Well, actually, I'm not even sure. Actually, McPanny dies here as Biver gets a nice pickoff and TP's out. I would normally say, you know, Flensmeister is the hardest carry in the game, so they should have the advantage. The issue is, it's going to be about Madman, because if Keizu can become an impactful semi-carry here, and Madman definitely has carry potential, then Hellborn will have a substantially stronger later game. But if Drunken Master can sort of fulfill his potential as a semi-carry / carry, then the Legion side will have the advantage. I think it goes to the Hellborn just because the next tier down is Devourer versus Bubbles, and Devourer is a much stronger late game carry than Bubbles, who really does not transition all that well. As his magic damage centric approach just basically goes to, that tickles, you know. It's 200 damage or 250 damage at level 4 is amazing. 250 damage at level 18 is not so much. Top lane Flensmeister is going to be gone on here by Drunken Master a little bit, but he will run away. Obviously not a lot of support coming out from the Legion side. Mostly just there to scare him off. And Flensmeister's going to reinitiate, realizing that, drops a Hellfire onto DM, but the rest of the team is here. Bubbles jumps in with the Song of the Sea. They're going to try to turn this around, actually, as Flensmeister's still going to look for the kill, but now realizing that was probably a bad decision, and will just jet himself on out of there. Empath jumping inside. Shrunken Head also popped by Drunken Master, so they know those cooldowns are down. Obviously advantageous for the Hellborn side, as Flens didn't blow really anything other than the Hellflower. Token still has 2.5 minutes on it, so I'd like to see them group up and push relatively soon, possibly taking down that top tower and potentially even Rax, as it's going to be difficult for the Legion side to maintain high ground considering how low that tower already is and the fact that they're fighting against a token. Bottom lane Keizu will be able to farm just fine and get away before Bubbles and Drunken Master jump on top of him. And 4 report coming in here off the side. Are they going to see this? Yeah, very possibly. Flensmeister is here. They're going to jump both Bubbles and Keizu at the same time. We'll see who actually dies first. Hellflower's on Bubble. Fiverr will be the first one to fall. Mika coming in here with a portal key. But the Shrunken Head and Untouchable are down. Sorry, just Untouchable's up for Drunken Master. But now that's wearing off, and Flensmeister is sort of out of mana. He needs to get away from here. Shrunken Head is down from Corrupted Disciple, but Engineer is going to fall. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Mika jumping in with a portal key, but that's going to cost Flens his token, as the wall prevents him from doing anything. Empath Ultimate is not available for 5 seconds, and he's going to die as a result. Kelfield goes down to a few as Fiverr buys back, but it's not going to do too much here. He's just going to die again, and this is going to end up being a genocide as the hook from Mickey does nothing, but the Storm Spirit locks down CD enough for them to reset on Hellborn and get another kill. So ends up being not only a genocide, but a 6-man genocide, as Hellborn actually lost nobody. And they managed to kill everybody on the Legion side, and then Bubbles once again.
The Hellborn have destroyed
Plus
a
a bot
Legion
tower.
tower.
And they likely are going to continue this push, as they've got all sorts of time. Balthazar has the buyback, but probably not looking to use it here. And he's down for 45 seconds, so this could very well be Rax, as he might need to buy out.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
And he's not going to. This is going to be Rax. Engineer obviously really can't do anything here.
A Legion barracks has been destroyed.
Pretty huge team fight there for the Hellborn side. All of a sudden, up 15k gold and 18.5k experience. Mid tower is to be the next one to fall. That should be pretty easy to take out, as the rest of the Legion side is respawning at this point, so they don't really need to continue this aggression. But obviously doing a considerable amount of damage there, taking out 2 towers and a set of racks. Flensmeister's still hanging around in the middle lane. TP coming in, so he's like, yeah, I'm out of here. Flens currently sitting on 6,300 gold. We'll see what he goes for. I suspect it's going to be a sheep stick. He's porting top here. Obviously, any way they can lock down that Corrupted Disciple, Bubbles, and Drunken Master, who are all generally mobile heroes. High move speed, escape mechanisms, movement mechanisms. Obviously, Sheep and Hellflower are going to prevent them from being so highly mobile and therefore much easier to kill. Shrunken Head. Shrunken Head on Zlap, who's at 380 GPM. They must be focusing farm on him, because Mick is only at 310. And he's the 4th highest farmer in the game, outside of everybody on the Legion side except for Corrupted Disciple. Top here, Drunken Man is going to be dropped by Flensmeister, as that was his pickup. So no Sheep Stick, Shrunken Head instead. And actually, reinitiation here, but a nice energy field goes down. They're going to be in a fair bit of trouble. Zlap using the new Shrunken Head, but he's actually not going to stop a lot of physical damage here from Drunken Master as his own Shrunken. Meanwhile, over here, Keizu will fall, actually. And Panny trying to get himself the hell out of there, too. Dual port out. Is this going to be enough? Nope. And he's going to drop. So, really good initiation and fight there from the Legion side, as they not only bait out the cooldown from Drunken Master, from Dr. Repulsor on his Shrunken, they take a cooldown of Zlap's Shrunken, as well as 2 hero kills, and an Amphora port. CD, which will be pretty much back up by the time she's alive, so that's not the biggest deal, but really strong engagement there. And I guess the issue is basically that now Hellborn have a lane down in bottom and a Dr. Repulsor with 550 gold per minute. And it's going to be difficult to come back from that because they don't have the CC. As it looks like Bubbles is definitely going for a Sheep Stick here, but I really would have preferred the Hellflower, as it's cheaper. It would have given him pretty much the same ability to lock down Doctor, and it's just that would have been way better as a pickup. I think actually Shell Surf used there, and as a result, Mickey's going to jump Bubbles here. Zealsling coming in from the 4 as she ports in from the side. Bubbles still in some trouble here. Hook not going to be successful, though. Panny dies as well. Kelfield's done taken by Devour, and the turret's pushing him way back. He's going to die too. So, oops. As the backup from the Legion there was on target. And everybody was absolutely on the same page. 2 heroes coming in here from the Hellborn side, in Keizu and Zlap. But they're instead, they're going to have to be careful about this top lane, because Flens is running down it with a port once again. And he's going to take out this tower.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
Off to the side here, Bubbles is waiting for the jump from... Actually, nice jump in there with Song of the Sea, but he's going to pop the Shrunken Head and run away. He'll be totally fine. Big glowing Doctor. So Flensmeister gets a free tower pretty much on top. Does cost him a Shrunken Head cooldown that he really didn't need to spend. He could have gotten out there. And he probably didn't even need to use it at all. Could just run away until the cooldown was over. As Bubbles had no kelp field available. But, see off the side here. Portal key. Zlap has a portal key. I keep looking at Zlap like every 5 minutes and he's got a new item. 385 gold per minute. He's almost as high as Keizu. Jesus, man. Portal key, Shrunken Head, Storm Spirit, Push Book, Ghost Marches, Torture. I look at poor Panny too. Plate of Greaves, Ion Stone, and Mana Battery. Is he just buying all the wards? This poor little boy. Zlap, you are so selfish. Get some wards, man. Slayer picked up there onto Keizu, who has once again gone for the late Alchemist Bones. He definitely didn't have that before. This is an interesting new thing he's doing with, apparently, where he's like, yeah, let's get an Alchemist Bones at like 35 minutes into the game and see how that works out. I don't know, apparently he likes it. Devour picking up a Soul's Bulwark on top of his Push Book and Portal Key, obviously giving him a little more physical damage presence, definitely a helpful item. As you know, the Abyssal Skull increases damage output, and now Soul's Bulwark would decrease armor, so gives them some physical presence, which they're doing more and more of course, as Madman gets more farm and as Dr. Repulsor gets more farm. Speaking of Doctor, sitting on 5,500 gold, so we can pretty much auto right-click anything he wants in the shop as well. Might be saving for buyback here, but if he's not, he can get whatever he wants. Bubbles, meanwhile, continuing to work on what I assume is that Sheep Stick, 2,100 gold here, so 600 away from the Acolyte Staff, and another 875 away from finishing it. So about 1,400 gold left, and then he will be able to finish off that item, which will be very, very helpful in locking down this Dr. Repulsor. At least I assume that's what he's doing, and he's not going for the Nullstone, because that would be terrible. CD finished off with Savage Mace. Meanwhile, Kongor is going down. DD Rune on Madman. Damn. Look at that. Look at them auto attacks, man. But the Legion side's going to scout this out, and he's pretty low. Actually, jump here on Bubbles, catches two at the Kelp Field, but Keizu drops a Shrunken Head, and he's looking to get engaged. Corrupt Disciple drops his own Shrunken. Wall going to be a bit of a difficult play here. Will actually finish off Keizu. Mickey trying to save him there.
Massacre.
And Shrunken Heads are getting popped all over the place. Hellborn Side's running back, but they're not going to be able to save Panny, who's going to be the second one to fall. Flen's now running in, and the Shrunken Heads are down. Dropping Hellflower onto Drunken Master, and he's going to be the one to fall here. Mickey trying to get a kill onto Adro as well. He's going to drop. Zlap is going to fall for his part. Drunken Master's still alive somehow, but he's going to be it. And Empath also dying, trying to kill a Bound Eye before he dies, but not successful. Mickey, is he going to land the hook? No. Keizu with his second buyback there, and Zlap with his first after his death. So this is going to be a Kongor kill, and probably once again in the hands of Flensmeister. No doubt could turn this into a top Rax. Oh, Mickey. You irreverent troll, you. And actually the token goes to Keizu, who's probably because he's out of buybacks. But the Sheep Stick is finished onto Dr. Repulsor. And like I said before, Savage Mace on Corrupted Disciple. Looks like Empath is going for an Abyssal Skull, just for the damage output, no doubt. And the additional armor. Nymphora coming in here with the port, so they're going to be looking at push middle lane, as pretty much everybody is up top here. Racks are going to be the focus. And with 20 seconds or so before CD and Drunken are back up, this is going to be a top Rax unless they buy back, and only Drunken has the buyout, so this is going to be a top Rax.
Legion barracks has been destroyed.
Mid tower going to be worked on as well, as Keizu's just doing so much damage by bringing his Sheep Stick and killed. Flen's just absolutely on a roll, and this is going to be game.
A Legion barracks has been destroyed a Legion tower.
So a much better performance here in Game 2 from Sweet Like Ice, as CD drops a Shrunken Head, has Empath inside him, while not doing too much though, energy field going down, but Mickey push-books himself through it. Kelfield actually hits too. Both Panny and Mickey take the stun. Panny gets a Storm Spirit, but he's still going to die, as does Mickey. But in the meantime, Adro is going to get caught out by Flensmeister, who's got all sorts of stuff to try to help him, but he's in some trouble here. Not really enough men to get away from him, and he will die. Fiber, meanwhile, looking to pick somebody off here, does connect with Shell Surf onto Keizu, but doesn't know it. Chain reactions go down from Zlap, and they're going to try to turn this on the duels. Might be able to do so. Drops a song. Let's see, not enough though. Drunken Master has a shrunken head up, so he's not taking too much damage from Slap. Keizu trying to live here. Flensmeister with a buyback coming back in. Keizu drops his token of life. This is going to be a death here for way too easy. Corrupt Disciple gets sheeped as well while stopping anybody else except for Flensmeister, but that's all they need. As Flens is just way too powerful at this point for Balthazar to handle. And that's going to be once again pretty much a genocide. And this time it's going to be Mega Creeps, so another buyback used as Empath, you're in trouble, buddy.
A Legion barracks has been destroyed.
Actually, gonna live there. And Balthazar trying to turn this around. Will get the kill, but they're calling the GGs as that's the Mega Creeps, and that's the game. So, like I was saying before, you know, much better performance here from Sweet Like Ice, despite the fact that this game was actually shorter. I think their decision making was much better, and their draft was strong, and their laning decisions were absolutely correct. This was a situation where they just got beat. They just got beat by a better team, and I don't think there's any shame in that. I think that it's one thing to beat yourself. It's one thing to be like, yeah, we made mistakes, and we shouldn't have done this, and we should have done that, and that contributed to our loss. It's another thing to be like, look, they're better. And yeah, SynC is better. You know, SynC is probably the best second best team in Han right now, and Sweet Like Ice is maybe in the top, probably in the top 10. But probably not in the top 5, so I mean, well done to them, and they took both of these games to 45 minutes against CiC eSports, which is a really strong club, and I think they did well. But regardless of how well they did, they won't move on, as this round of 8 match concludes with the Hellborn side and CiC eSports taking it 2-0, and ICE will be relegated to the death match, while CiC moves on to the Pro League, and that'll do it for this series.